Released earlier this year, the Pentagon says there is no evidence of UFOs and people simply misinterpreted what they heard or saw. But from Roswell, New Mexico to Washington, D.C., more and more Americans are demanding answers on these occurrences from our elected leaders and top agencies. Joining us now to give her insights is writer and host of the Debrief podcast, Chrissy Newton. Chrissy, thanks so much for making the time tonight.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Let's look at the witness list again, expected on Wednesday. From these 4 individuals, what are you expecting? What are you hoping to be revealed this Wednesday?
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing from retired Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet. We haven't heard much about USOs, unidentified submergible objects. So I'm excited to hear from him. Last year, we did hear from the recent hearing that happened. Sean Kirkpatrick, the former head of Aero, did say that there was no credible evidence of USOs. So I think we're going to hear very different from Tim.
Interesting. We'll be watching for that. And I know one witness, Luis Elizondo, who spoke exclusively with NewsNation. Let's listen to what he had to say on what is released to the public.
There's 3 categories of information. There are things that we know. There's things that we think we know based upon what we know. And then there's things that we don't know, right? So what we know, what we believe, and then what we don't know. What we know is that it's not us, okay? Us humans. But there's all sorts of other things. I often tell people, look, they can be from outer space, inner space, or frankly, the space in between. There's a whole reality around us.
So, Chrissy, how can the government strike a balance between safeguarding national security plus guarding against total public panic and then respecting the public's right to be informed, to transparency?
That's a great question. We should be looking at edge science and edge technology as well. It's something that we don't really have a conversation with. We do within the science communities, but it's a very hard conversation to have with defense. So it's something that we should probably lean into. And I'm hoping that is one of the conversations that they do have. There's also looking at NASA. You know, we do have Mike Gold, who's formerly from NASA, that will be speaking and testifying, which is really exciting for the fact that we haven't heard anything from NASA since the recent research report that came out. So I'm looking forward to hearing what Mike Gold has to say, and hopefully that will shed some light on maybe some safeguarding within our own defense systems, but maybe even within space as well.
And President-elect Trump, meanwhile, has made comments in the past that he knows things about UFOs. Do you think full disclosure could be coming during his presidency?
I don't know. I hope so. In his first presidency, we did not hear anything. So from that, I'm not sure. You know, I hope he keeps his promise and does do that, but we'll find out in the next 4 years to come.
The Pentagon report on UAPs released earlier this year, claiming that there is no evidence the U.S. reverse-engineered alien spacecraft and rebuted claims, that Washington is hiding off-world technology or any extraterrestrial biological material, for that matter. Many Americans have questioned these claims. Why do you think that is? What is the compelling evidence that you see?
Well, there's lots of evidence for UAP, but for these programs, we know that there's been tons of American past programs that were researching UFOs. We know of obviously Project Blue Book and so many of them. But right now we look at the conversation of Immaculate Constellation, and if that actually is a program, an alleged crash retrieval program that's talking about special access programs that are talking about UAP reporting, and alleged legacy programs as well too. So we're not 100% sure, because that person who did come forward does work for the American government, but did go on background when he was speaking on the record about this. So we're still waiting to find out. Susan Goff, the spokesperson from the Pentagon, has confirmed and said that this program does not exist. So we're still waiting and seeing, and hopefully, again, within the next administration and the Trump administration, maybe we will find out.
All right, Chrissy Newton, appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.